Welcome to the latest in Zelda music and fan theories. You're listening to Hyrule Academy, live on Radio Hyrule.
This is me, MC Gamer, and welcome to Hyrule Academy. It's a wonderful show that happens every Friday right here on Radio Hyrule. We talk all about Zelda lore and wonderful theories. It's a great time. We listen to some great music while we do it. For example, starting off tonight's show was Twin Rova. nice name for the song by Mission Guitar. And that was featuring Metal Fortress 14 as well. Two excellent artists that you can find on YouTube. Hit them up, tell them I sent you, tell them that Hyrule Academy thanks you for your contributions to tonight's show, which is going to be a wonderful show, a fantastic show. We're going to do all sorts of fan theories, we're going to have some discussions, and we're going to have a little bit of fun with it as well. So I hope you guys are excited for tonight's show. I've been really hyped. I don't know if you guys have heard, but apparently Netflix is in discussions to want to do a Zelda TV show, according to a blog. It's on the Wall Street Journal, but it's still a blog by some guy with no source, and the internet is freaking the freak out about it. Do you want a Zelda TV show? Do you not want it? Who cares? 'Cause at this point, we don't know if it's actually going to happen, because Nintendo and Netflix are declining to comment. So does that mean it's happening? No, it means we don't know anything. So calm down, you crazies. But if it does happen, I have some people in mind that might be able to help them with their lore consultation. I don't want to say it's me, but it's me. You know, I'd do that. Anyways, tonight we're going to be talking about a wonderful subject inside the Legend of Zelda series. Something that is actually quite extensive that a lot of people don't really pick up on. And that is, of course, Gerudo Culture. So the Gerudo people, in case you're unfamiliar, are a race of people that have appeared in Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, and Four Swords Adventures. And technically, Ganondorf is a member of the Gerudo race, so he kind of appears inside the Oracle games as Ganon, and any Ganondorf game, to be honest with you, but also Twin Rova, the Gerudo witches, also appear inside the Oracle games. And in addition, we do have some mentions inside of some other games. For example, in Skyward Sword, there are Gerudo dragonflies. And in Twilight Princess, there's Gerudo Desert, despite there not being any Gerudo there. But they're a tribe of people, for the most part. Anytime you see them, you usually have a tribe. In Four Swords Adventures, they're inside some tents. Inside Ocarina of Time, they're in this big fortress. Inside Majora's Mask, they have a little pirate's cove. But they're a tribe of thieves. For the most part. It's pretty much widely believed that what they do is they steal. That's how they make their way in the world. They steal things from other people. Skeevy? Yes. Cool? Definitely. I enjoy it. And they're a race of entirely women. Except for a single man born once 100 years. And that guy happened to be Ganondorf inside the latest Zelda lore. At least that's the only Gerudo male that we know of is Ganondorf. But you must be saying, Super MC Gamer, I know where babies come from. How do they make more? Well, a gossip stone in Ocarina of Time actually informs us that the Gerudo come to Castletown to look for boyfriends. And they don't go any more in detail than that. It's rated... What was it rated? Ocarina of Time wasn't rated teen, was it? Or was it rated KA? That was a thing back then. Did you know that? But no. So they look for boyfriends inside Castletown. And the Gerudos are respected inside their culture if they're good at horseback riding and archery. And so, you know how you go and do a horseback archery game? That's kind of like, you know, combining their big loves in life. I guess that's what you do when you're in the desert and you have nothing else to do. Horses and archery! And they do have a second in command. After this Gerudo male king dude, they also have a second in command. We see her inside Ocarina of Time in Naburu, who later goes on to become the Sage of Spirit. How magical and wonderful for her, am I right? But yeah, so Naburu is second in command of the Gerudo. So how big of a hierarchy do they have? Do they have a third in command? Why the heck is Twin Rova not second in command? I don't know. Like I don't make the rules. They're also pirates. Yarg, inside Majora's Mask, they kidnap some babies, some eggs. Don't know why, but apparently they wanted to, so good for them. I hope they're having a wonderful life as pirates. Not really much to say on the topic of the Majora's Mask pirates. They're actually kind of one-dimensional. There is one named Gerudo pirate inside that game. I believe her name begins with an A, but she's not important enough to talk about. And they also exist in Four Swords Adventures, like I said. And it's weird, because in that game, they resent Ganondorf for breaking the law of the Gerudo. The what? The law of the Gerudo? And I heard all this stuff. So they go to this town to search for boyfriends. They have some sort of tier of how they're like how they follow one another. They seem to be thieves and like to horseback ride and all this stuff. And they apparently have their own law. And I got all these questions in me, and I was like, we need to talk about this. We need to talk about these Gerudo, my friends. So my questions for you tonight as we start heading into the show is, first of all, what are the lines of work do the Gerudo involve themselves with? Are they just thieves? How much money can you make just doing thievery? Like, they have to make money somewhere else. What do they do? Let me know. And any sort of fan theories or ideas you might have on that. And of course, back it up with a fact from the games, if you can. Also, what sort of religion would the Gerudo follow? Do they follow the Golden Goddesses? Do they follow someone else? Let me know what you think. There's actually a really interesting thing about that I'll mention on later in the show if you guys can't get it up yourselves. And lastly, do the Gerudo have laws and morals? And if so, what the heck are they? We need to know how this tribe of thieves has laws. Like, what are they doing over there? Where do they draw the line? I want you guys to have some good old ideas. Some good old ideas on what happens with that. And if you want to discuss these questions or ask your own and you're not currently inside our chat room, go over to radiohyrule.com/chat room, and I will be featuring your messages later on inside tonight's show. But now we have music to listen to, my friends. I know you guys want Gerudo Valley music. I know you want it. I mean, we're doing a show all about the Gerudo, so how can I pass up the opportunity to have a show with all the tracks being Gerudo Valley? Well, we're not doing that, because that would get annoying real quick. Instead, I got some select pieces for you, all from the Gerudo Culture, so I hope you guys enjoy. I'm going to go and read what you guys have to say right now, though. This is MC from Hyrule Academy, and I hope you guys enjoy this music. We'll be back in just a few. Welcome back, everybody, to more Hyrule Academy right here on Radio Hyrule. I'm MC, and I'm excited to be bringing you some more Zelda lore and, of course, fan theories. And, of course, awesome music. For example, we heard two songs just now while we were discussing the Gerudo culture. And it was two songs that really fit the overall theme tonight. After this, we're going to start to mix it up, though. I got some wacky stuff for you. But first up, we heard Gerudo Valley by Hawk, and that is Hawke. There's two A's. Hawk is a little duo of two awesome people who make some excellent music. That's one of their older tracks. Their newer stuff's even better than that, but I couldn't resist their wonderful arrangement of Gerudo Valley. It was definitely something unique. And so I thought, let's give you guys something that you might not have ever heard of before, rather than giving you the same old remixes that you've heard day in and day out. I'll give you something a little bit more different that you might not have heard before. After that, we heard Gerudo Desert, and that was from the Twilight Symphony album. The Twilight Symphony, of course, is an amazing album. I don't know if it's still available out there somewhere, but I'm sure you can find a download if you search hard enough. So just keep going and looking for that. The team worked on it as an excellent group of people. So Twilight Symphony, wonderful project. And, of course, that Gerudo Desert arrangement, really spot on with the vocals and everything. Anyways, let's stop blathering about beautiful music, because MC Gamer hates Zelda music. No, I'm just kidding. I love Zelda music, and I love talking about the Gerudo culture. You guys are on fire right now, so I'm going to try to keep this quick so I can keep talking with you guys inside the chat room, getting everything ready for our community discussion portion of the show in a bit. But one thing I wanted to bring up really quickly is the idea of the Gerudo being the ones who are responsible for breaking the bridge. In Gerudo Valley, the bridge is broken, and it was told from the carpenters that the Gerudo thieves broke the bridge. And then they kidnapped the carpenters that were working with them. And it's inferred even inside the game that the Gerudo were working with them on the bridge. What? So, what could have happened in Hyrule history that causes a situation where our bridge is being worked on and repaired, and the Gerudos just break it and then kidnap the carpenters? What happens? What could happen? That's for you guys to discuss. I don't want to get into it. But my question is, once this is down, there is no way to get from one side to the other unless you happen to have Epona, some crazy horse, to get over this bridge, or a long shot. The question is, what's this? What is going on here? Why would they do this? Because they need to get to the town to seek boyfriends. They're cutting off their way of reproducing and making more people. And I discussed this earlier. And I'm very sorry. I'm going to flirt around this because it's kind of a weird way of looking at things. They kind of kidnapped the carpenters. So technically they do have men. I'm not going to touch that one with a 10-foot pole. But I just thought it was very strange that they somehow made the decision to break down their only way out of the desert. They obviously are going to need food and supplies from outside their little fortress. I didn't see no, fruit trees growing around there. It makes me wonder and worry about what was going on inside this desert that caused them to get rid of this bridge. And I mean, we could trace it back possibly to the war, the Hyrulean Civil War that we talked about on a previous episode of the show. Maybe when you noticed inside the child portion of the game, when you're a child and you go to Gerudo Valley, all the Gerudo are walking around the broken bridge, and they tell you can't come over here. This is not an applicable area. Or actually, is the bridge still up? The bridge is still up. They're saying you can't come in here. This is Gerudo territory. But in the future, after Ganondorf has done the bad things, maybe that's when they're like, they don't want to be invaded again. They don't want any part of what Ganondorf is up to. And so they break down the bridge. So yeah, very interesting. Very interesting stuff, how they broke down the bridge following Ganondorf taking over Hyrule. Just some weird thoughts I wanted to place in your head as we keep our discussions going this evening. Thought you guys might be interested in those little tidbits that I noticed. But I have a little bit more that I'll be sharing with you guys soon. You guys are on a roll, so I'm just going to let you guys keep going. If you want to go to join our discussions, go to radiohyrule.com/chatroom, and you guys can join us there. But for now, more music. We've got our traditional stuff out of the way. So let's get some more non-traditional things going, shall we? Welcome back, everybody, to more Hyrule Academy. I'm MC, and it's been wonderful tonight hearing what you guys have had to say about Gerudo Culture. Meanwhile, we've been listening to some wonderful music. For example, to start off that little set of music we had the Pirate Fortress from Artificial Fear. Artificial Fear, always with those great metal covers. A lot of it's Zelda music. Artificial Fear really likes that Zelda music. He knows that we'll eat it up. So thank you very much to Artificial Fear for that wonderful arrangement of Pirate Fortress. After that was Beyond the Chasm by Eric Siri. That's S-C-E-R-I. So all you with iPhones out there, calm down. It's not S-I-R-I. It's S-C-E-R-I. Too many letters. This isn't spelling class. This is Zelda class. And of course, that is from the Harmony of Heroes album. Wonderful, wonderful album. Give it a Google. Has much more than just Zelda. It has Mario. It has your Pokemons. It got your Stair Facts. I mean, wonderful, wonderful album. Check it out. There's over 100 songs in that, and you want to listen to every one of them. Perfect road trip music, may I add, especially if you can so time it that you end on Final Destination. Totally worth it. Anyways, let's get talking about some Gerudo culture and what you guys have had to say about that. So we're going to start off with the idea of their structure, the structure of how they survive, their government. And Z-Win is going to start us off tonight, saying that the Gerudo have kind of a socialism-like structure, in that there's those people who are in charge, like Ganondorf and Nibiru, but everyone gets equal of everything stolen. So more of keeping it in the idea of, hey, all right, welcome back. I hope you had a fun time in Hyrule Town. So what did you do? Well, Nancy, the Gerudo, I had a wonderful time in Hyrule Town. I found myself a boyfriend. Holds up boyfriend. Somehow I fit him in my pocket, inside a bottle, just like Deku princesses seem to fit. And also, I stole all these mangoes. I'm sorry. What am I doing right now? And then so the pirates are like, 12 mangoes? Fantastic. Let's give these mangoes out to everybody who needs a mango right now. And that's how it'll work. There you go. Mangoes for everybody. I think that'd be a good way. Like a very communal-like structure. I think that type of thing would work well with the Gerudo. The Gerudo, I mean, they seem like they're a united folk for the most part. They all seem to they work together well, because when you see them patrol their guard, you know, they seem to know what's up. And they have membership cards. They're like a club. The Gerudos are like a club. We didn't even mention the Gerudo membership card. None of you. I was hoping somebody would bring it up. But no, the Gerudo have membership cards made up. They don't just, make them special for Link. They're pre-printed, man. They're like business cards. They got a whole stack of them somewhere inside that fortress. Which I find interesting. So yeah. The Gerudo Club. Thanks to Kyrodians inside the chat for saying the Gerudo Club makes me very happy. But Yasutaro is going to get it back into the seriousness of things. Say, as for the Gerudo hierarchy, what if Nibiru was the leader before Ganondorf was born? She had to step down to number 2 due to the ancient laws of the 100-year cycle male. Her disdain for the man who does seem to reach first is than her disrespect for their laws. So what Yasutaro is saying is, so this Ganondorf dude, he's born and he's like, yo, I'm king now. And he's like 5. And Nibiru's like, what is this crap? This 5-year-old can't lead us. I am Nibiru. I am your leader. I am the best. I chill with my Desert Colossus sand goddess lady. It's a fun time. And Ganondorf's like, no, shut up. Bow. And Nibiru has to bow. And she eventually gets irritated. I mean, dealing with Ganondorf's crap for what, probably 20 odd years until he's a full-grown adult. That must be pretty darn annoying, you know? That must be really annoying. So maybe Nibiru, that's part of the reason Nibiru's all upset. It's that maybe she was the leader beforehand. That would kind of be that'd be kind of disappointing, to be honest with you, if I was Nibiru. But we didn't have much discussion tonight about their government structure. But I liked those ideas that Z-Win and Yasutaro brought up. But moving on, though, let's get into a little bit of the religion side of things. And so Captain Trina doesn't waste any time. The second I mention the word religion, Sand Goddess! Sand Goddess. That's right. Inside the Spirit Temple, you will find a giant goddess of the sand. There she is, inside all of her glory. In fact, the entire outside of the Spirit Temple, too. It's like we have a sand goddess. But the question is this sand goddess an existing goddess? Is it Din? We can't say for sure. There's nothing that really leads us on, but we know that these Gerudo honor some sort of sand goddess. Whether or not it's just a golden goddess with another name or what we don't know. Kyrodius says the Gerudos could have a different interpretation of the golden goddesses than the Hylians. And that's very fair. Maybe they don't really honor Nehru and Furore. Maybe they just say Din. Din is the one who gave us the earth. We don't need laws and we don't need anybody else. We are the Gerudo. We have been given the earth. Whoa. MC Gamer, calm down. I need to have a drink of water. 1 second. Okay, there we go. Better now. Sorry. Kind of got into that for a second there. But hey, Kairoti. That's a very, very, very nice little theory you got there. Anyways, Captain Trina says they say that the Gerudos worship Ganondorf almost like a god. That's right. That's an exact quote from the Gossip Stone. The Gerudos worship oh my god. Getting excited. Slow down. The Gerudos worship Ganondorf almost like a god. Not like a god, almost like a god. So, while he is the king, he is not their religious leader or anything like that, which is something to note as we went into this. And it's good to have in our brains, I'd have to say. Anyways, moving past religion now, let's talk a little bit about what their jobs are. We're going to start off with ebook saying they kidnap Hyruleans and force them into slave labor. Maybe there's this whole underground Hyrulean trafficking market. Hey, they already got those carpenters, and it's actually a fair possibility. These Gerudo don't seem to have a high regard for structure and stuff. Maybe they actually are into making sure that they kidnap people just like they kidnap mangoes apparently, and they use them as however they can. I mean, they had no problem locking people in cages that were completely innocent and destroying their bridge. I think that's one step off, to be honest with you. So it's very interesting to me, that theory that they're using the Hyruleans for more than just the idea of let's just keep them locked up. So yeah, a good theory as it were. Henry Pye says, well, if they use bows and horses, we could assume they're armed, so they could be mercenaries to earn some money. There's a good idea for a profession. Maybe, you get upset at your neighbor. You're in Kakariko, just chilling out, having a good time in Kakariko. Hiding out there. Thanks, Sheikah, for the town. Good stuff. But your neighbor, this guy, is up all night brewing potions. You hear this? You smell the smells coming out of the chimney at 5 a.m. You hear explosions every which way, and you're saying to yourself, I can't stand it anymore. This guy needs to die. So that's when you head into the alleyway. Or maybe you head outside town. You've arranged for a friend to come up. A Gerudo comes trotting up on a nice Gerudo stallion, which is a thing, by the way. It's actually in the game. And they say, what's going on? My neighbor. Can I kill him? Can you kill him for me? What do you have to offer me? I have rupees. I don't want rupees. I want mangoes. And then bam! You give the Gerudo your mangoes, and in the next 24 hours, your neighbor is dead, and there are no more potions for Link. Dang. So hey, Henry Pye with a good theory. Good stuff. Yasitaru says, maybe they took on the mantle of thieves to better protect their individuality. The biggest thing we see in Ocarina of Time is them walking away the carpenters, who are merely trespassing in their desert home. So maybe they're saying that they're thieves, but they kind of aren't. They kind of use that as kind of a way of being like, we are the tribe of thieves. Don't mess with us. When really, they're working hard on different things. For example, Henry Pye says, we don't even know what they mean by thieves. Say there was a lot of trade flowing through Gerudo lands, and they taxed a large amount of what came through. Then they could be labeled thieves because of that. And you know what? There's actually evidence of that possibly being a real thing. They have a huge gate. That is one big gate, and they seem to have somebody whose job it is to raise the gate daily. What if, from far-off lands, people came through the Desert Colossus with shipments of items for Hyrule, and they got to this gate, and they let them through and taxed them on it? They said, you have a shipment of 100 mangoes. We'll be taking 10 of those mangoes. And it's like, dang you, Gerudo. But hey, they're going to call themselves thieves no matter what, People will be like, those Gerudo thieves, they take all of our mangoes. It's like taxes. Come on, pay your taxes. Give them the mangoes. And maybe that's why they got rid of the bridge, too. Maybe it was a trade war. They were saying, you know what? Screw you, Hyrule. Nobody's getting mangoes through this bridge anymore. Why are we on about the mangoes? I don't understand. Yasutaru says, the Gerudos sell swords of any description. It's probably a likely employment. And yeah, that's a fair. I'm just going to say, yeah. I think if I was a Gerudo, I'd sell swords. You guys see those swords they make? Intense stuff, good stuff indeed. So let's talk a little bit about morals now. Let's talk about morals and laws. So, AskBeGamer13 says, it seems to me Ganondorf is outside of the morals of the Gerudo. And most of the Gerudo don't notice early on and didn't question him. And yeah, Ganondorf, while he's their chosen king, their male, like 1 in 100, wow, he's kind of a jerk. Maybe he's this guy who's not even consulting the Gerudo on these matters when he goes and decides to take over Hyrule, start wars that they didn't want to be involved in, but they have to follow their king. So imagine that. You fight this war for your king Ganondorf because he gets people all riled up, and then he's like, all right, we're done with the war, but I'm going to kill the king and take the Triforce. And the Gerudo are like, will you stop? Will you just let us live in peace and take our mangoes and tax the people? No. Goodbye, Gerudo family. You were cool. Twinrova. Hey, there's going to be a Sage of Spirit. Don't let that happen. Bye, Mom. And then off goes Ganondorf. Off to become the great evil leader that we know and love. In one timeline, he gets executed, kind of. Whoops. So, yeah. I'm sure there was a bit of a contention with the morals of what Ganondorf was doing. He keeps kind of like using his rule badly. And yeah, Captain Trina kind of goes into this a little bit more and saying, I think the Gerudo had a sense of morality, but it doesn't mean they couldn't get swept up and brainwashed by Ganondorf and his plans. That's very true. So on top of this idea that maybe that they're upset with Ganondorf and Twinrova could just say, all right, that's fine and all. I understand that you protest, but this isn't a democracy, and brainwash. And now you have more peons. And that could further lead on to the idea of Iron Knuckles, like we see with Nibiru. So very, very fair theory that maybe these morals are broken even further by the idea of brainwashing. Now Z-Wind comes along, and Z-Wind's like, I think the Gerudo law would be something sort of like Spartan law. In case you don't know what that is, you can't help. If you can't provide for the group, you're outcast. So imagine Nibiru. She's trying her hardest to help the Gerudo people out, but she's not doing a very good job, and they say, get out of here, Nibiru. You are not following the King Ganondorf, and you are not providing for our tribe. You were supposed to be number 2, but now you're a 0 to us. And so Nibiru crosses the desert on a great adventure, and she arrives at the Desert Colossus in hopes of becoming the Sage of Spirit or whatever. I don't really care. But yeah, you get the idea. So people can be outcast. Now, one thing we didn't touch on, or at least you guys didn't touch on, because that's all I have for you guys for tonight. You guys never really touched on Four Swords Adventures. And that's what I really wanted to get you guys on with the law, the idea of the Gerudo law. Because in that game, they very much actively resent Ganondorf. They say, we don't like him. He's not a great guy. He doesn't even let us take mangoes anymore, and I'm upset. We're upset. We're upset as a people because he broke into the pyramid, and that is a huge Gerudo no-no. He has violated their sacred ground, and that is one thing why we might be upset at them inside Ocarina of Time too. Why are we upset at Ganondorf? He's using the Spirit Temple for dark magic and evil doing. That's horrible. He's defiling their sacred ground. So I think what the idea is, the Gerudo people are very spiritual people. That's why they control the Spirit Temple, you know. And so the biggest law and morals of the Gerudo people, let's not think about thievery. Let's not think about whatever they're doing with those carpenters. Let's think about breaking sacred ground and the pyramid and the Spirit Temple. And I think that's where the true meat of the discussion lies. And I think I'm going to leave it with you guys tonight to think about that. But for now, I'm going to let you guys listen to a little bit more music before we wrap up tonight's show. So next up, we got some exciting orchestral music for you all. Orchestral? That's right. So I'll be back in just a few with the wrap-up for tonight's show. Welcome back, everybody, to Hyrule Academy. What a night has been. We've been discussing many a great thing, but as all things do, they come to an end. And unfortunately, we're nearing that point in our show this evening. But first, what was that song? Holy schmoly, people liked it inside the chat. Oh, I saw you guys. You were digging it. You were very much digging it. That was Dragon Roost, Gerudo, and Temple. A nice little medley by the String Player Gamer. Look that guy up on YouTube. All that music you just heard was done by a single man. He combined all those tracks to make his own orchestral stuff. It's amazing. As part of a little project he calls the Mini Mario Orchestra. So check him out. Great guy. Really funny dude, too. You'll like him. So look him up. String Player Gamer. But yes, tonight we've been talking all about Gerudo Culture and what it is and how their government seems... We know that it goes Ganon and Nibiru and then there's Twinrova mixed in there. But what we don't know is kind of how they operate, and we kind of think maybe they're a little bit of a socialist type beliefs where you give to all, you give to all, and everybody is together. And maybe Nibiru was kind of overthrown when Gandalf was born. That'd be crazy. But their religion, however, is mainly based around this idea of the sand goddess. And something that was mentioned in the chat is this idea that maybe those rites of resurrection that you see inside the Oracle games done by Twinrova are somewhere involved inside this religion where they somehow use despair and destruction and sorrow to resurrect somebody. Maybe that's involved with this idea of their sand goddess or something like that. We didn't get a chance to talk on that, but interesting theories nonetheless. For their work, though, while they do thieving, we also had ideas that maybe they tax people on imports. Maybe they're involved in slave labor a bit with the carpenters. Maybe they make weaponry. And one thing that you guys didn't mention that I wanted to bring up is horses. There is a Gerudo stallion that Ganondorf rides, and these people love horseback riding. We know this much from in-game text, so it's very possible, hey, maybe they work to help get these horses out there. And maybe that's why Ganondorf was so interested inside Lon Lon Ranch. He was like, man, the Gerudo back home, they don't like me, but I like horses. And so, hey, Ingo, you wanna horses? I love horses. Maybe Ganondorf really likes horses, more than mangoes, I'm sure. But inside the ideas of their morals and laws inside the Gerudo world, we know this much. Ganondorf broke them. And some of the ideas of some of their laws is to, first of all, provide for your people, provide for the tribe, follow the king to the grave until he starts to go absolutely mental, and honor the spiritual ground, the pyramid, and the big desert colossus. Those are important places. Obey them. And maybe Ganondorf broke that spiritual ground so much they're like, all right, we're not following this king anymore. Screw that law. We're too upset at him right now. Gods before kings, as it were. What's a king to a god, as it were? So interesting ideas and theories all around tonight, my friends. And thank you for bringing them to me. A reminder to tune in next week, Friday at 10 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time, right here on RadioHyrule.com. And guess what day that is? It is the 13th, Friday the 13th, spooky day. It gets even spookier because Majora's Mask 3D is releasing for the Nintendo 3DS, and I'm excited. I'll be playing that game when it releases. You better believe it, my friends. And in celebration, I couldn't resist. Next week's topic is Majora's Mask, the actual physical object of Majora's Mask. We're having a lot of fun talking about Majora next week, so I hope you guys are very excited for that. A wonderful show it will be, to be sure. A reminder, if you want to support the station, Radio Hyrule, it's a wonderful collection of music and people, and just it's a great community we have going on here. Go ahead over to RadioHyrule.com/donate. Throw a few rupees inside the big wallet, and we can make magical things happen for you in the future. So be sure to do that. If you have any suggestions for this show, email me. My email is mc@supermcgamer.com if you have any requests or discussion suggestions. To finish this up tonight, I was thinking I need to make sure you guys remember this project I talked about a lot inside 2014, and that is an idea, entire album that is coming together by a man named the second narrator. The second narrator is remixing the entire Link's Awakening album, making it orchestral and amazing and super. And he just finished his, I believe, third to last song, The Nightmare. And it's all about the battle, the final battle inside Link's Awakening. And so I'm going to play that song to finish this up tonight. It's a bit of a long one, so I hope you guys enjoy it. But lastly, I just want to say thank you all for tuning in to Hyrule Academy right here on Radio Hyrule. It's a pleasure talking to you guys, and this is a wonderful show tonight. But I'm going to go. I hope you guys have a wonderful week, and I'll be back with you on Friday. Thank you guys for tuning in. Have a wonderful evening.